How the devil. Oh yeah, backhander. Now listen, I told my wife the other day, any more from you and you'll see the back of my hand. Right, so today, WBC, not the boxing title. They haven't contacted me for arrange a fight with Mike Tyson. No, Mike Tyson once had a chance. It's world's best cables. They sent me 2 boxes of cables. Oh, speaker cables. Now, this is always a touchy subject for a lot of people, speaker cables. And whenever I do anything on speaker cables, I always get someone in the comments linking me to Gene over at Audioholics. Snake oil. Load of bullshit. Gene said. Right. So I always get it, and I get a link to Audioholics channel where Gene is doing measurements on speaker cables, and what he's found is that there's hardly any perceptible difference between each cable in the measurements. That you wouldn't be, there is a difference. Better cable measures better, but it's not perceptible to the ear because it's such a small difference. I don't know. Is it snake oil? I don't know. But I did about a year or so back. I compared some 12 gauge pure copper, oxygen-free copper cable to 16 gauge, copper clad aluminium cable, speaker cable, and I thought I heard a difference. I thought the 12 gauge cable was quite a bit better. Anyway, I don't know. Is it a placebo effect? I don't know. But here's the thing. Are you going to buy thousands of pounds worth of equipment and stick on 16 gauge Amazon Basics copper clad aluminium cable for your speakers? It's like buying a Porsche and getting steel wheels and wheel trims for it. Right? No, you wouldn't do that, would you? So I do think it's worth spending a reasonable amount on speaker cables, not extortionate, no, because there is a point, and I've said this before in my previous videos, of diminishing returns. Some speaker cables will try and sell you £2,000, £3,000 speaker cable, and they'll sell you the stand to take it off the floor. Come on, okay. There's a limit, isn't there, right? And you end up spending thousands on speaker cable. No, it's not really. The speaker cable shouldn't cost more in your system. But I do believe that you shouldn't buy thousands of pounds worth of equipment and then just get cheap 20 quid speaker cable. That's my personal opinion. Let me know what you think. Anyway, let's have a little look at these beauties. That's my rant over. Shut up, Mart. Get on with it. Let's get these out of the box and have a little look at them. Oh, okay. Let's have a little look. Ooh. Oh, look at them. Ooh. Look at this. What gauge are these? Does it say on them? This is the 9 gauge. Can you see that there? Let's undo this. Got a little bit of ribbon over it. Now I only got 1.5 meters. I didn't want to go too mad. And they come in different lengths. Look at the thickness on that. Oh, nice. There you go. Okay, so what I've got is I've got spade to banana connectors. You can get these banana to banana, spade to spade, whichever you want. But I've got spade to bananas. The banana plugs, I believe, go in your amplifier, and the spades go on your speakers. Okay, now, one thing I have to say here, right, straight off, is how well made these are and how nice looking they are. Look at that. Let me just see if I can get a bit closer here. Look at this. Look at that. Have a look at that. Isn't that good? Really clearly labelled, well made, but just lovely looking speaker cables. Look at the thickness on that. Ooh, that's what she said. Hey! Let's have a look at the 7 gauge. And these are going to be even thicker. Now look at the size of that. Now, I'm not sure, actually, considering how thick that cable is, it's pretty flexible. Because there are times when you get cable and it's very hard to manage. But do you know what? Considering the size of this cable, it's pretty easy to manage. Not bad at all. Quad 7 gauge. 7 gauge, there you go. Right, okay. Let's have a little look online at the specs of these. See what they're made of and see what what they're saying about them. Okay, WBC Ultimate Assembly. And there they are there. 9 gauge ultra pure oxygen free copper premium audiophile hi-fi speaker cable at Evanescence gold banana ×2 spade ×2 plugs and silver tweed jacket. What's it say? Ultimate paradigm in pure listening pleasure. Happy listening. So they got 0.08mm fine strands for a finer assembly. Ultra fine copper strand versus human hair. Oh, and there's a human hair. And there's one of the copper strands. Ooh. 99% is heavy gauge cable. Effortlessly deliver deeper lows, sweeter mids, and higher highs. Higher highs! Any fear of signal loss, without any fear of signal Stratton, blah, 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 blah. And there's some of the cable there. Why settle for 16 gauge, 14 gauge, and their biggest 12 gauge cables where you can have WBC Ultimate Series cable, the massive 9 gauge copper content, pure connection. Nice. Luxurious finish. Well, I can't disagree with that. Braided tweed cloth jacket and embroidered labelling will complement your high-end gear. And this goes back to what I was saying about putting steel wheels and plastic hubcaps on your Porsche. You wouldn't do it, would you? Elegant durability. Evanescence 3 micron 24 gold-plated audiophile grade 4mm standard banana plugs. Blah, 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 and them as well. High-end packaging, which I can't deny. It's pretty good, yeah. Here we are. And I do have to agree with this bit here. So with a massive 2,688, 99.9% ultra pure oxygen-free copper, ultra finer strands, this cable far exceeds the flexibility of cables that are only a quarter of its size. And this goes back, and I have to agree with that, because I was surprised for the thickness of the cable, how flexible it was. Because sometimes you get these cables and they're really stiff and hard to manipulate, but these are not. So kudos to them for that. And also the price. Let's have a look how much it's going to cost you. How much is it going to knock you back? So these 1.5 meters, 123 quid. Now, a lot of people say, oh, that's expensive for speaker cable. It's for the pair of them and for what you get, and I think that's pretty reasonable. That's not bad at all, considering you see some ridiculously priced speaker cables. Yeah, I've just been walking around with this around my neck, burn off a few extra calories. No, so see, 120 to 150 quid for some set of speaker cables. It's not really that expensive if you spent thousands of pounds on your hi-fi system. Now, going back to Gene over at Audioholics, like he always recommends to get at least 10 gauge oxygen-free copper cable, and his favourite cable is Kimber 8TC 8 something. I'll put a picture up on here, and that ain't cheap. That ain't cheap. So I think 120, 130, 140, and anything under 200 quid is pretty reasonable, especially for this quality. But how does it sound? Does it sound any better? So at the moment, I've got 12 gauge oxygen-free copper cable. And I have to say, I got cheap Not very expensive banana plugs. Just got them off Amazon and I've wired them into that. So will this sound any better? Well, there's only one thing for it, isn't it? Sound test. Sound test. Sound test. So what I'll do is I'll just do a comparison. Obviously, I'll do a blind sound test. I'm not going to tell you which one sounds better, even if it does. I'm not going to tell you beforehand. I don't want to put anything in your mind. I want you to make your own mind up. So I'll play a song, and I'll do half of it blind, A, B. Then halfway through the song, I'll reveal which cable is which. And I think let's try the 7 gauge. Oh, okay, have a listen to this. So, what do you think of that? Almost had my eye out then. Jesus. I couldn't tell the difference between the two. Personally, even leaning in, I couldn't tell the difference. So, there's the cut-off point there. 10, 12 gauge OFC cable is about where you're going to have the cut-off point to. Personally, I couldn't tell the difference. However, these are definitely a nice bit of eye candy, and it's just really well made, well presented, very decent cables. And if you bought a reel of OFC cable, decent stuff, 12 gauge, 10 gauge, and you bought some banana plugs, that's probably going to cost you somewhere in the region of 40 to 70 quid, So these are pretty reasonably priced, considering obviously the longer the cable goes, the more expensive it is. Is there a difference between the 9 gauge and the 7 gauge? Again, I tried them both. I couldn't hear the difference. Maybe if you got a really long run, and again, like I said, it's going to cost you more money the longer the run is. But I couldn't hear the difference. Anyway, my family say to me,
"You're so hard to buy for."
like birthdays, Father's Day and Christmas, they're having a laugh, and I'm the easiest person in the world to buy for, right? I got hi-fi, record, CDs, okay? Oh, maybe a bottle of Penderyn, right? Drink responsibly. However, if someone bought me these, obviously you need to check first what cable they have. But if someone had bought me these for a birthday, Father's Day, whatever, I'd be like a pig in muck. I'd be like, oh, thank you so much. I'd be tearing up. I'd be like, well chuffed, okay? I'd be really happy with these. So if you're looking to get your significant other a nice birthday, Christmas, Father's Day, Mother's Day, I don't know what day, present, okay? And they're into hi-fi, duh, hello. Now, would I have done anything different? Well, what I should have done was potentially ask for a little bit of a longer cable, because my speakers are quite far, especially that one over there, it's quite far from the amp. And what was happening is that when I connected the spades up to the speaker, it's hanging off the floor and it's so heavy, it's pulling on the spades. Really, you need to have this on the floor and that maybe, I don't know, zip tied to the back of the speaker or something to stop you pulling out. Or potentially get banana plug to banana plug and plug it in like that. But I wish I don't want to waste a wish, really. I want to wish for £1 million, but what a waste of a wish. Oh, Genie pops up. What do you wish for? I wish to have longer speaker cables. Okay, that's your wish is over. Thank you very much. What have I done? Anyway, but I should have got some longer cables, and maybe banana to banana. The spades are good, but it's just too heavy. If it's not tied, maybe I'll cable tie them later. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.